What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about how to scale the rope climb. So if you don't have rope climbs left, don't worry about it. There's probably two things you're missing, a little bit of strength and a little bit of technique. So I'm going to demonstrate both things that will help you get better in those areas, and then over time you will get a rope climb. So first and foremost, we're going to start our beginners off with a lay to stand. So the way that looks is I'm going to lay down on the ground all the way flat, and I'm going to try and keep a straight line from my heel up to my shoulder. So I'm primarily using my arms, okay? Now, if they're not able to do that, I'm gonna come down the same way. Then you can bend your knees slightly, just like so, and the same thing, but they're gonna use a little bit of leg. When we get to the top, we want to do a couple knee ups. So if you're a little bit stronger, then you might be able to get here. My elbow's kind of at a 90-degree angle, and I'm just gonna kind of roll myself back into a ball and bring my knees up to my elbows, okay? If you're not quite as strong, it might look like this. Okay, so we're gonna do a couple knees up, and then we're gonna work our way back down the rope again till we get to that lying position. Again, if you need to scale it, bend your knees. You can use your legs a little bit, get to the top, do a couple knee raises, and then back down. So that's the scaled for the rope climb. If you're ready for the next step, we're gonna go over here to the knotted rope. And with this one, you just have to have a little bit of strength and accuracy. And basically, I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna try and kind of take my feet and karate chop this rope. And then I'm gonna try and get to the next one. Now, in order to get to the next one, I have to have some pretty good strength, like I demonstrated on the last rope, of being able to pull my knees up to my elbows. So if you can't get your knees to your elbows yet, you may not be able to get this movement yet. So work on that first. It looks like this. Catch it? When I'm in this position, now all I'm gonna do is stand up out of my squat. Stand up, my hands come up. Now I'm gonna go for the next one. I'm gonna push off a little bit, catch it. I'm in my squat again, stand up. Coming down the same way. Sit down, bring my hands down, find the next knot, sit down, and then back down we go, all right? Knotted rope climb. If I have perfected my knotted rope climb, I'm gonna move on into learning how to do the J hook. And I'm gonna use the box to demonstrate this. Okay, so learning the J hook, we're gonna start the rope on the inside of your knee and then the outside of your foot. And I'm gonna use the box because it'll help me be able to do this several times without getting worn out and having to jump at the rope. So inside of my knee, outside of my foot. Then I'm gonna take this heel, I'm gonna come around front, I'm gonna thread my heel in. And as you can see, that rope just made a J. So my bottom foot stays in flexion. That means it's pointing back at me, and my top foot is kind of pushing away. So those are kind of working in opposite from each other. My left foot is pulling towards me, my right foot is pushing away from me, and I can feel pretty good tension back behind my leg right here. So I want to make sure that I know how to do this without looking. So once I'm able to find that J hook quickly, okay, I'm going to look at the ceiling and find it and release it. Find it and release it. Because that's got to be second nature for me. I can't be staring at the rope while I'm trying to find my J hook. So again, inside the knee, outside the foot, hook the heel around front, catch it, release it all the way. Because when we're climbing the rope, we actually do have to release it and we have to find it again. So you have to get very good at this part until you can go to the rope. I'm going to do that, but I'm going to jump to the rope and find it. So I'm going to push my box away, and I'm going to jump, and I'm going to find it. Now, here's the key. When I find my hook, I don't want to push my feet straight down towards the ground. The likelihood of me losing my hook is going to be higher that way. So I'm actually going to push my feet kind of out this direction, and it secures that hook a little bit better. It looks like this. I'm going to jump to the rope, find it, kick out. Okay, so if you notice, see my body's at an angle. I'm kicking out. I'm not kicking straight down. Okay, if I kick straight down, the likelihood of me losing that J hook is going to be a little bit higher. Once I'm able to jump and hook and kick out and hold, that hook should be pretty darn secure. Then what I want to do is I'm going to do my little knees to elbows again, roll myself into a ball. I'm going to unhook my rope, rehook it again, and then stand up out of my squat. All right, so I'm going to do 2 pulls this time. I'm going to jump, find it, and then get my second one. Looks like this. Okay, now I'm going to roll up into a ball, find it again. I'm in my squat. I kick out and stand up out of my squat, just like so. When I come back down, sit down in my squat, release it with my feet slightly, come down to the ground, all right? That is the rope climb.